Welcome back in, everybody. Alabama Unfiltered Radio. We appreciate you listening to the show, and we appreciate you being a part of the program. What's wrong, Sky?
Nothing at all. Everything's good.
Okay, good.
All is peachy and wonderful in the world.
Well, let's get back to
besides all the technical stuff that's going on.
Yeah, I think we may be working now.
No way.
So go and check it out, Sky, just to make sure. Again, folks, we're getting there, but y'all can go take a look. Go to YouTube on your phone and check out Scott Beason Media. And, yeah, there's all kind of other clips there that don't have anything to do with what we're trying to do here. But, you know, all the stuff when the people used to bash me, you'll find that, too, when you search for.
Oh, man, that's worth the trip.
That's the
right
good
there.
stuff, yeah. You can see the glory days of, he's terrible, I hate his guts, he's awful. Absolutely awful. Terrible human being. So I think it's working now, and y'all can check it out.
I got plans tonight. I was going to watch something else.
And see all of those things. So go and check that out. So back at the start of the show, way back 2 hours ago, we were trying to start off with how much things have changed, how different things are today than how they used to be, and Johnny Carson is a great example of that. Johnny Carson was the late night radio host,
the king of them all, y'all.
And it's fascinating. So I'm going to play the clip. Hopefully this works, Sky. I'm going to lose my mind if this stuff does not start working like it's supposed to work, but this is Johnny Carson after the assassination attempt on Ronald Reagan. And then compare this to how things are being dealt with today when there was yet another. We're talking about President Trump has had 3 assassination attempts that we know of.
Yeah.
And one nicks his ear very close to removing his head.
That was a hand of God.
And then we're still getting a negative, just the unbelievably things being said on network television. But this is Johnny Carson after the assassination attempt on Ronald Reagan, and hopefully an ad's not going to pop up.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure that all of you here and most of you watching tonight understand why we delayed this program for 24 hours. Because of the incredible events of yesterday, that old adage, the show must go on, seemed relatively unimportant. The Academy, ABC Television, and all of us connected with the show felt because of the uncertain outcome, as of this time yesterday, it would have been inappropriate to stage a celebration. But the news today is very good, as you know. The President is in excellent condition at last reports. He's been conducting business. And he happens to be in very good spirits. After all, you must remember this is a man who yesterday, while he was in the hospital unable to speak, wrote on a sheet of paper, "All things considered, I'd rather be in Philadelphia." So tonight the show does go on. Now, 2 weeks ago, President Reagan videotaped an opening greeting for this occasion. We were in contact with the White House about 2 hours ago, and it was the President's express wishes that we use that introduction. And I might add that you might like to know that he also asked for a television set in his room so he could view this program tonight. I was, Actually, the President was in such good form today, I was very tempted to call him and ask him if he had any more of those one-liners that I could use. So it is especially pleasing tonight, ladies and gentlemen, to be able to say, here is the President of the United States.
And apparently the President of the United States was on the show. How different that is. If someone tried to assassinate Barack Obama, as much as I dislike Barack Obama, as much as I believe Barack Obama should never have been president of the United States, part of me believes Barack Obama was never qualified to even run for president of the United States. Well, I guess the Constitution says you can't be. I guess you could run, And then if anybody had any backbone, they would say, well, hey, great, but you don't get to be president because you are not allowed to be president. Scott, do you believe in all that birther stuff? I believe enough to know that we still don't know anything about his college days.
That's a fact.
That we still can't see his records.
Sealed.
I also believe that the birth certificate that they gave us from how old is Barack Obama?
He's about 64 now.
So 1962?
Yeah,
is that when he was born?
Connecticut birth certificate. That's a real mystery, isn't it?
Well, I know he has a Connecticut Social Security number.
Social Security. I'm sorry.
His birth certificate is from Hawaii.
Right.
And you know what they classified him as?
Foreign student.
African American.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay.
When
Columbia was a foreign student.
When did the term African American make its way into the American lexicon?
Oh, not in
not in the 1960s.
No, that was colored or black at best.
At best, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things, but I mean, look, if you're making it up in the 2000s, you wouldn't know. You were publicly educated. I'm sorry, my bad. So anyway,
yeah, there's a lot of mystery involved in and intrigue involved in all that.
In the Barry Soetoro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, it is what it is. It's old history now, but what would we do? I mean, we now know there's a very good chance that Joe Biden didn't sign any of the things or many of the things that he signed. It was all done with that auto pen.
Yeah, he was out of it.
And so, and the president has said, well, we're going to, do away with some of the pardons or whatever. I don't even know where that is now. It's not really a story much anymore. But what do you do if you find out in 3 or 4 or 5 years that Barack Obama was never supposed to be president? Does that mean that everything that was passed while he was president and he signed is null and void? Obamacare, all those things go away? I would argue that is what should happen. Would the Supreme Court ever say that? Probably not. So you can be a fake president. You could be a dependent. You don't know that, Scott. I'm not saying. I'm asking the question. If you find out someone holds the office and never was supposed to be there, does it still have the full force of the law? Is it still in effect? I mean, is that what happens if somebody else gets your checkbook and signs your name? And you paid, signed your money over to somebody else? You bought a lifetime subscription to Netflix? Is that just in stone because they pretended to be eligible to sign your checks and they weren't? Well, no, Scott, that's completely different. Oh, okay. That's completely different. But signing legislation that makes us live under it and may possibly you weren't supposed to ever be president. I mean, how do you get away with that, Scott? When the mainstream press is your friend, that's how you have no records from college?
That helps.
We end up knowing that George Bush makes a C or a D in whatever class, and everybody's like, oh, see, he's stupid. Barack Obama, Barack is one of the smartest people ever. How do we know that? How do we know Barack Obama is one of the smartest people ever? Now, he is one of the best teleprompter readers ever.
No doubt.
But how do we know he's one of the smartest people ever?
I understand he was a great community organizer, too.
Oh, he's really good at that. We got to take another break. Alabama Unfiltered Radio. We'll be back.
a lot
goodness.
to keep up with there, Scott.
No, I can't. Let's go out to T Spear. T Spear, welcome to the program.
Well, good morning to everybody out there.
Good morning,
Can
T
y'all hear me
Spear.
okay?
So far,
Yeah,
so
you sound
good.
good.
Excellent. Earlier, y'all were talking about Barack Obama and the assassination attempts against President Trump and this sort of thing, and of course, Obama came in. Did anybody ever attempt to assassinate Bill Clinton, to your knowledge?
Not that I remember, no, ma'am.
Did anybody ever attempt to assassinate Joe Biden, to your knowledge?
No, ma'am.
Do you want me to tell you why not?
I would love for you to tell me why not, T Spear.
Al Gore, Joe Biden, and Kamala Harris.
Because the
You
second
would
choice
want
is
to
so
do that?
bad?
Yeah, they were that bad, and yet the Democrats still put Joe Biden in office, and they still nominated Kamala Harris. They didn't nominate her; they allowed her to get by with nominating herself.
Right, right.
You know, there's no doubt as to why nobody ever assassinated them was because they had the perfect insurance policy. Nobody wanted those three. And yet, at every turn, Democrats are crying for the assassination of Donald Trump. That, to me, is absolutely disgusting. And I look at every Democrat and I ask, why do you allow this? Because if it were not for the party sitting behind them and financially supporting them, they would stop doing that. Instead, they continue to allow the persecution of a Republican legally elected president.
Right.
There's nothing they can do about it, and they are absolutely apathetic about it. They just go insane.
Yes, ma'am.
So people need to understand that there is a reason that the rabid idiots are still doing what they're doing. They're attacking our president, and it's because of getting by with it. You put a stop to it, and you make it emphatic that this will not happen again, and maybe we'll be able to have a decent presidency even after President Trump is no longer president.
Mm-hmm.
So watch your insurance policies. Those are always interesting.
T Spear, I appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you. Y'all keep up the good work. Bye.
Yes, bye. Thank you very much. Sky, let's go out to Clark.
Hey, Scott.
Clark, what's going on?
Well, as Sky announced earlier, David Allen Coe passed last night.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do this real quick. I was drunk the day my ma got out of prison. I went to pick her up in the rain. But before I could get to the station in my pickup truck, she got run over by a damned old train.
And I'll hang.
I got
Hang
you.
around as long as you
will
will
let me.
I never minded standing in the rain. You don't have to call me darling, darling. You never even called me by my name.
David Allen Coe.
I tell you what, if you've ever been where there was a group of slightly inebriated rednecks, every one of them knew every word of that song, Scott.
Yeah?
Anyway. Hey, I keep hearing people talk about Ilhan Omar and World War XI.
Yeah?
Scott, let's give her a little credit. She didn't call it World War Pause. It could have been worse.
It could have been worse. It could have. No doubt.
I understand her favorite Led Zeppelin album is Led Zeppelin 11, by the way. So.
There you go.
Let's
Hey, this is a true story. Now, you ain't been up to where I live, but I am remote, okay?
Okay.
I mean, I live so far back in the woods that the Episcopalians handle snakes, okay?
I got you.
All right. Now, there was a guy that putting together his own apartment complex off the bluff where you cross the creek.
Mm-hmm.
The first one was Roman numeral 1.
Okay.
The second one was Roman numeral 2.
Okay.
The third one was Roman numeral 3. You know what the fourth room was? Arabic 4.
Because he wasn't sure. Oh, I got you.
He didn't know no Roman numerals past 3.
Hey, well, you're a first, then you're a junior, and then maybe you're a you're a third.
go
But what do you do after that?
But anyway, hey, is anybody ever going to mention on this whole gerrymandering for race? It's not about sending African Americans to Congress or whatever. It's about sending more Democrats. Now, if it broke the other way, if 51 or 2% of a certain group voted Republican,
Mm-hmm.
we would not gerrymander them their own districts.
No, we would not. No.
We wouldn't have a federal judge saying that. You will notice, and I think this whole thing got started because Mexican Americans wanted a gerrymandered district and they couldn't get one. But ain't nobody suggested that yet. They break the wrong way. Now, I want to note one more thing while I'm on this.
Okay.
Did Donald Trump outperform every other Republican since at least 1960 with African Americans?
I think so, yes.
Why? Because he went and talked to folks.
Yeah, that's fair.
Democrats never stop messaging. It's all lies,
Right.
but they never stop messaging, and Republicans message not at all. And you think that puts us at a disadvantage? I think so.
It does. Yeah, but the problem is what is the Republican? You're looking at a Republican congressman, a Republican United States senator. What is their message? I mean, at least Donald Trump has. I mean, he has "Make America Great Again." He has.
Donald Trump has he's got a message.
He does. Yes.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. He's achieved everything he's achieved with both political parties and just about the entirety of the media lined up against him in this country, plus most of the rest of the world.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like he's had the Republicans on his side. Now, they will pay him lip service if they're running for an office, and they need that.
Yeah, if it'll help them be elected, they're absolutely for it.
So that's where we are. And, yesterday we talked about the indictment on James Comey.
Mm-hmm.
Now, were you trying to tell me that they were going to send I can't remember. My problem was I should have been listening more instead of thinking what I was going to say next. Were you saying that maybe they indicted Comey to try and put a stop on the kill Trump rhetoric?
No, I was not saying that. You and I were
okay.
discussing the fact that Comey was indicted in Florida.
He was.
Not in Washington, D.C., and therefore there's a chance that we'll at least get to see some evidence or hear some evidence, or it might actually move forward. Washington, D.C. is set up to protect the swamp at all cost.
They couldn't, darn, now I'm not going to be able to say his name. Secretary of Agriculture under Clinton, where they had cut the sweetheart deals for the poultry industry when they messed over the beef. And, I mean, clearly the man took millions of dollars, and they tried him in D.C. and couldn't get a conviction. And I can't think of who it was.
Yeah, I can't remember his name either. Hey, we got to take a break, Clark. I appreciate you. This is Alabama Unfiltered Radio. We'll be right back. Welcome back into the program, everybody. This is Alabama Unfiltered Radio. We appreciate you listening to the show. We got the short segment at the top of the hour. We got at least two people on the phone, so let's go out to Boomer T. Boomer T, welcome to the program. I hope you're well. Happy Thursday to you.
Man, happy Thursday to you two guys right there. I'm thoroughly enjoying the show, but I got a quick story.
Okay.
All right, when David Allen Cole says about Steve writing the song,
Steve Goodman.
John Prime wrote this part of the song. They were in Chicago. They were drinking one night, and John Prine went back to Steve's apartment, and he started scribbling some stuff down, and he left it sitting on a dresser, sitting on top of on a pad. And Steve found it one day and put it in a drawer. And then one day he just picked it up one day, and he finished the song, and he called John Prine and told John that he finished the song, and John said, "What the heck are you talking about?" He said, the song about drinking, about mama, and he said, "I finished it off." So he read the last line to him. The reason why David Allen Cole does not use John Prine's name in there is because the fact of it is it was too hard for him to say two people's names at one daggum time and make this record do right. So John Prine just got a check every time it was played, but he never once was named in any of the writing skills of that. Second off, I've had the opportunity to meet David Allen Cole several times being a Boomer T. You know, you get to go to certain places when you're in the barbecue business. And I'm going to tell you right now, David Allen Cole is one of the most laid-back, coolest dudes I've ever met in my life. I've actually, be honest with you, I've been able to sit on his bus. I have smoked the ganja from the motherland and sit there and drink Jack Daniels out the bottle while him and some of his, oh my God, I mean, this is when he first got his dreads and his beads and stuff, and sit on that bus with me and my best friend in the world. I will not mention his name because he would probably want to know everybody know that. And we sit on that bus for about 2 or 3 hours after the show and just act right there and just got absolutely annihilated. And I got to hear some of the best uncut versions of anything you've ever heard of David Allen Cole. You think David Allen Cole's X-rated album is fun? You ought to sit there and be on that bus with David Allen Cole and all them other boys in there singing it. But I tell you right now, I'm gonna miss him. He was, I will say he's a friend of mine because I've met him 1,000 times, and one time, he lived in Nashville up there. He lived in a cave. People don't know he lived in a cave for 6 years, man. He isolated himself and put himself in a cave, man. So how about that? That's how a real outlaw does.
Yeah.
So,
God.
but I want to let y'all know, man, if you ever get a chance to meet somebody, do it. Don't be scared. Walk up to them and say, "Hey, how you doing? Come on the bus, boy. I got let me tell you something, son." And
never know.
Willie Nelson, hey, let me tell you something. Willie Nelson, he ain't got Jack Diddley on what David Allen Cole was hitting on. And I'm telling you, that stuff came straight from the motherland of all motherlands. And I'm telling you, back in the day, man, I could smoke some stuff, but I tell you right there. But no, let me tell you something. That was one of the best moments of my life of doing. I've met, Jubilee and they all. I've met every damn musician and everybody in the world, from B.B. King to George Jones and all of them. They're all of them are great people.
Mm-hmm.
But David Allen Cole was the most down-to-earth person I ever saw sit and had a chance to talk to him. And I got to see him. And people remember Hank Williams Jr. had a bar in Panama City. Y'all remember that? And his wife worked at the bar, and David Allen Cole was in there one night. And let me tell you something. Back in the day, the bikers were showing enough fight then. And you talk about a brawl breaking out, and I think and Hank Williams Jr. took a guitar and smashed it to the cross of the head. And my God, them bikers beat the living fool out of me trying to get on stage with David Allen Cole, though. But guys, but the show is awesome. And I want to tell you, Boomer loves this show, and Boomer loves this station. And I love everybody that listens to this station because y'all are the greatest people that listen to the talk radio in the world. I promise you got the greatest audience, and the most people out there love each and every one of y'all, just like they love me, and I love them, because this talk radio station is family.
There you go.
Brother.
There you
got
go.
it, Boomer T. I appreciate you, buddy.
Y'all got me through so much. Hey, God bless y'all, and God bless America, and I see you when I see you.
Right on. That's a testimonial from a man that shook the hand of David Allen Cole. Left hand, that is.
Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah. Wow, Boomer T. That's a heck of a story right there.
Every word's true.
Yeah, that's a good point, though.
Chelsea
You know,
Road.
if you got a chance to meet somebody, meet them. The problem is
usually.
he's met really cool people. I've
Yeah.
had a chance to meet some people because mine was mostly in politics, and I'm like, I don't like him at all.
Well, they say never meet your heroes, Scott.
Yeah, I don't. And maybe the problem was they weren't necessarily my heroes, but I did have a higher expectation than what most of them were. But I found that a lot of folks are good folks. Maybe not.
Well, a lot
maybe
of-
not political folks, but a lot of folks in music and in sports and in those types of things are good people.
They are, but be careful how you approach them. Don't be overbearing or demanding.
Yeah, like where you
be-
expect them to do
Yes.
something.
Yes, don't go at it that way. Go at it with a little kindness and a little, see. Remember, they're people too.
Yeah.
And,
Now I've been around some folks at ball games and stuff that I just refuse to, do the ask for a photo or a signature or something like that because I'm like, I'm just going to
Yeah.
talk to them like they're normal.
exactly.
And you know what I do though? I pretend
What's
like I
that?
don't know who they are.
There you go. That's the attitude. Hold
We
on to
gotta
that
take
thought.
a break till tomorrow. Papa B, give us a call back, and y'all be good, be safe. See y'all.